Well, friends, that's what happens when you're not paying attention. I am going to have a test interview with a brand. I'm just trying to set this up here in the studio. Got the camera placed right here today, and I think that the angle looks great. And we're gonna use the Rodecaster. It's gonna be like an hour long. Yep. It's massive. Meeting went very well, feels good, and it's gonna be a fun project to join in on for sure. Now I'm going to record a video for the main channel. And as you can see here on the right side, you have the sound wave. Oi! Oh wow. Well, video is done, felt good. Mora knife. When we were turning the RC into a snowplow, a couple of parts broke, so I had to order some new ones. Oh! Oh! Okay. Ooh. I needed to have something extra, not only the sling bag, but I'm too tired of my big bag. This might be the perfect fit. Oh, being able to open the back. Ooh, how I have missed that. Click, 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 click. Look at that. Sun is peeking through. It's gonna be a perfect time to take a test ride. I've been looking at getting a form of electronic transportational device for quite some time, but since I don't know how to snowboard or stand on a pair of skis or even skateboard, one wheel and electric skateboard is kind of out of the picture. So I've been looking at a Super 73 for quite some time and thought about getting that, but then I remembered. All the way back in 2018, when I was working as a freelancer, I had this gig where I was shooting an OCR race. And for those of you that don't know what OCR is, it's obstacle course race. And on that race, there was an exhibitor that had electric bikes, and they actually borrowed one of them to me so I could get around the track and shoot the videos quicker than just walking around the 8 kilometers. And I remember that bike was great and I had a really good time riding it, but ever since then it just like, until I started looking at e-bikes during the fall of last year. And then I remembered that this company was Swedish and they had their office 40 minutes away from Gothenburg. So I decided to send them an email and ask, hey, can I come over and check one of your bikes out? And they were like, yeah, come over. After trying out the Wafa bike, decisions were made. I'm gonna need some help naming this because I don't know what we're gonna call it. I'm thinking Optimus. Drop a comment down below with what you think. Look at that. Managed to fit everything that I need in the bag. Camera, extra batteries, filters, drone, 100-400. When you're riding a bike, it's very important to wear a helmet. This is a Swedish invention, which is basically an airbag for your head. I totally agree. When I was 14 years old, I was riding my bike down one of the hills where I grew up as a kid, and I managed to hit the front brake, made a front flip, and then smacked my knee into the pavement, so I broke that. Have had like 5 surgeries since. There was a rock this big stuck in my helmet. So if I weren't wearing a helmet, I would probably not sit here today. That is why I always wear a helmet whenever I ride a bike. Okay. Battery all good. Okay. Now I'm apparently secured, so if something were to happen, then... At least I'm very glad that I'm not on blood thinners anymore, because otherwise that would hurt. Would bleed. It still hurts, but it doesn't bleed as much. Seems like I managed to break the e-bike. I took apart the throttle and unfortunately I yanked it out like with the ship. So we gotta go and pick up a new one. I don't know if you remember, but a while back I got an e-bike that I tried going up a hill with and it didn't really work. So the first test is going to be to see if we can get up that hill without breaking a sweat. You know, this time around, it's just pure fun. The last time it was more like a hassle trying to get up the hill, a hassle trying to go quick because the tires were too small. But this feels like a very sturdy bike and something that is very smooth to ride on. Here we have the throttle, and over here we have 3 different gears that we can use. You really got to be cautious when you're using throttle because it has 160 Newton meters of torque, which is a lot. So I probably could do a wheelie and then land on my back, but I'm not gonna try it out because it's not it's not within my comfort zone. I do think that having a belt-powered bike feels more smooth than having chains. This fork is also making the ride entirely smooth. Not to talk about the tires. Since you have these massive tires, you basically can't feel the bumps. Like, it doesn't hurt when you ride fast and hit a bump. It just feels smooth. And since the engine is centered, you can also adjust the height of the saddle, which makes it for a very smooth ride when you're pedaling, as opposed to other bikes where you probably would have to put your feet a lot further if you want to use the pedals. But I think that this feels very smooth. It assists very good and the motor is incredibly responsive. The biggest difference between this bike and the bike that I previously had was that this bike actually feels like an electric bike should be feeling like. The other one was more like a trying to be scooter. It didn't even carry me up the up the hills when I was going up there. According to the specs, it's supposedly going to be able to run for 20 to 50 kilometers on solid electric drive. When you're pedaling, it definitely helps you a whole lot. You wanna try?
Vad är det gasen du har där?
Det är gas, men jag tror inte du behöver den, utan det är bara att trampa. Så klarar du dig.
Reagerar han på det då?
Ja. Och så ta det lugnt nu bara. Sending dad off on the bike. Not entirely sure if that's the best idea, but I'm just hoping that it comes back. How did that
Perfect.
feel? Huh? Good, eller?
Yes. I trampade for the hill there.
Erkänner det var bra? Ja. Så jävla god. Oj, 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 oj. Good thing I did not fall while riding the bike. At least I'm happy about that. I don't know what's the most embarrassing, that I managed to fall while taking out the bike or that I actually stumbled on my own leg. To summarize the riding experience, it is very smooth, and this video is not paid. I paid for this bike myself, and even though I really like the look of Super 73, I think that this looks a little bit more badass, and I haven't tried folding it together yet, but I do think that is going to be a good thing to have in the bike in the future as well. For example, when I'm going on vacation together with Amanda up north in Sweden, then we can just toss that into the trunk and I can bring it with me and have it with me for the entire weeks that we are up north. I'm just gonna make sure that I charge this fully before I leave next time. Isn't it amazing the time we are living in right now? I mean, like being able to have a bike that assists you when you're going uphill and then have a helmet that is an airbag so that you can use your regular hat when it's cold outside. I think it's just cool. This is charging with USB-C. How awesome is that?